Hello, I'm David Cronall, owner and general manager of Bulldog Kia, and we are here today at ESP in Watkinsville, Georgia, and we just participated in what they're calling a parking lot parade. And what that is during this time for the last 6 or 8 weeks with the shelter-in-place rule as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, the normal activities of ESP has been interrupted. And the families of ESP and the participants have not been able to participate because ESP has been shut down. And so there's been a huge disconnect with a lot of these families that really rely on the support and the support network of ESP. And so what ESP has done is they do these weekly parking lot parades where all the buddies of ESP get together and they have live music and a DJ, and the families can drive through the parking lot and all the buddies of ESP are cheering on their campers and participants, and it's a way to kind of stay connected during this time when everybody's disconnected. And in a moment I'm going to talk to Laura and we're going to learn a little bit more about how this shelter in place and COVID-19 pandemic, how it's affected the families of ESP and what ESP is doing to help these families. All right, so let's go find Laura. Hey Laura, we found you.
Hey guys, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
All right, so Laura Whitaker, Executive Director, Extra Special People. We just participated in an amazing event out in the parking lot. And you call that the parking lot parade, right?
That's right, parking lot parade.
Okay, so this is a result of during the COVID-19 lockdown, shutdown. So your organization has been pretty much shut down, which has created a situation where your families, the families you support, can no longer come for after school activities and all the other stuff you all do. So tell us a bit about the event we just participated in and what the goal of that is.
Yeah, so we believe that relationships are vital for every person. And here at ESP, we are that relationship for our families. We are the human connection and the human touch that they have. So many of our children are medically fragile. They're not able to, the families are not able to go to the grocery store. They're not able to go anywhere. And so they've been locked in their homes without respite, without extra care. For the last 5 weeks. And so many of them that came through the parade today, that was their first moment of human connection and relationship. And for the kids, it's seeing their very favorite people dancing around in superhero costumes, calling their name, letting them know that we know them and we remember them and we love them. And for the families, I don't know if you guys saw, but there were a lot of tears in the parents' eyes, and just knowing that their child is known, but seeing that their child is loved and that we are here to support them through a really, really hard time. So it was beautiful. I think we had over 200 people roll through.
It was amazing. I'm always amazed at the level of enthusiasm that you, and these are all volunteers, most of them, right?
That's right, yeah.
So they're volunteers, most of them. They're here, they're full of enthusiasm, they're cheering on the families you support. And we did see a lot of mothers driving through with tears coming down. And
I saw you guys cheering too.
We were cheering. We saw a lot of our Java Joy
Yes.
people coming through,
Yes.
and that's the first time we've seen them in probably 6 or 8 weeks.
They miss their job, that is
We'd
for
love
sure.
them to come back.
Yes.
But beyond that, there is there's another level of stress, if you will, or challenges, because they're not ESP being closed,
Yeah.
and the kids not able to come here. But that also means that they're not going to school.
That's right.
They're not going to the therapies because those are shut down. Tell us about some of the challenges this shutdown has created for the families that you support.
Yeah, so we talked about the medically fragile ones. There's another kind of group of people, of children that have more severe behaviors. So you think about our friends with autism and the challenge in terms of respite that those parents emotionally need extra support. Their kids aren't going anywhere. They don't have the routine schedule that they're used to having. And so those behaviors are elevated right now. And then many of our families are single moms raising children. They're grandparents raising grandchildren. So many of them have lost their hourly jobs through COVID-19. So the other things that we're doing, we're delivering over 100 meals throughout 30 counties every single week.
Wow.
And that goes to those that are food insecure, that need the extra support. We've delivered groceries, diapers, medical equipment. Many of our families have to pay for medications, and if they've lost their job, they have to choose. Do I buy food or do I buy my child's medication? So we've been able to provide some financial assistance through our emergency relief fund. We've paid some rent, we've paid some utilities, whatever we can do to help families continue to care for their child while we can't care for their child. And that's really, really important to us until we can get them back here at ESP.
Okay, so you've established an emergency relief fund. And am I correct in assuming that this is outside your normal operating budget? These are funds above and beyond what you normally need.
Yeah.
Talk to us about the emergency relief fund and what that's doing and some of the needs, current needs you have right now, urgent needs you have for that fund.
Right, so yes, that's above and beyond our current operation. So we are keeping all of our staff employed, and we're doing that through these routes. We're doing that through online programming. So we have like online yoga, we've got online counseling and support groups going on. So our staff are busy at work, and we're still paying and have the same regular operating costs that we have. So anything above and beyond these written utilities that we're paying, financial assistance, scholarships for camp this summer, food, respite care, counseling, all of that is above and beyond what we anticipated this year in our budget. So we've established this emergency relief fund, and that's for people that see people with disabilities as a vulnerable population during COVID-19. We certainly do, that believe that they need the additional support, whether it's a parade, groceries, food, respite, counseling, and want to support those families. Again, we serve over 600 families. Every single family is called every single week. So we are checking on every family that we serve to make sure that we are serving them in the way that they need us the most.
So I can imagine, I know people who during this time, their daycares and schools have shut down. They haven't been able to work.
That's right.
Because they're taking care of kids. I would imagine if you have a special needs child and that even compounds it.
That's right.
Because of all the extra expenses, and you're able through this fund to help those families financially.
That's right. That's right. We've paid for rent, we've paid for utilities, we've paid for medications, we've paid for groceries, we've paid for diapers. You name it, we are doing whatever we can to meet the family's needs, and we're doing that through our emergency fund. And we have a lot of families unemployed right now. Yeah.
Well, Laura, May 1st is Friday, and Bulldog Kia, for the entire month of May, for every sale that's made, we're going to make a donation to the Emergency Relief Fund.
Awesome.
And because we believe in what you're doing, and we know that the financial challenges it would put on you to want to provide this help to these families, but you still have an organization and a budget, so these funds are above and beyond. So we want to do our part, and I would challenge every business owner in the Athens area, Northeast Georgia. This is an organization that's worthy of your contribution. If you appreciate and love what ESP does, then I would challenge you, donate to the relief fund. So if someone wants to give, Laura, how do they get money to the emergency relief fund?
They can hop on our website. There is a pop-up link right there, extraspecialpeople.com, and there's the emergency relief fund link, and you can click on that link and donate there.
Awesome.
Yeah.